My next trip out from London drove me to Venderbite, where the radiant cinder was drawn to the curator. It held another color, the color of cosmos. To him it seemed as if it was singing, and he said that it smelt of stars and dreams. I've no idea what he wanted to do with it, but I gave him the smoldering stone, and he in turn gave me a mirror made of dark glass, carved with serpents on the side, as a reward for my trouble. After that I simply headed to Palmerston, where I could pick up the zoop I needed for the venture, the great soup of hell. All I seem to do these days is run errands. Nevertheless, I also picked up some devil bone dice, and with these I was able to head to Station 3. The smith and the cannoneer who resided there, they helped me complete the grand cannon. My cannoneer was overjoyed! However, to my great surprise, this cannon, which was said to be the most powerful of all weapons, which could destroy even islands, it resembled the cannon my father left to me. The cannoneer commented on this too, saying that she could have sworn she'd seen this somewhere. That crafty old bastard! He left me with the power to defend myself, yet not a ship capable of using it. Was it a test? A rite of passage to prove that I deserved this power? More to the point, did he find these old relics? And what of my officers? They were so ready to join me. Did they know him? Perhaps I will find some other time to talk with them. While my cannon was being worked on, I found the austere acolyte, and we managed to talk a little bit. I asked her of the metal protrusions she removed from corpses. She said they're used for various things in the Echo Bazaar. Never mind that, though. We had a cup of wine together as our friendship grew, and I expressed some admiration for her. She seemed to have trusted me as well, because she asked for my help with the next autopsy. It was her sister. She did not cry, but she resented the creature arrayed before her, the mass of hair and bones and skin and muscle. She cursed it, but blamed herself for the death. When she had finally taken the jagged metal shard from her, she looked up at me, almost pleadingly, and asked if it really was her sister. I couldn't deny it. The resemblance was uncanny. I told her the truth, and she continued to dismantle it, neither singing nor laughing. We had one last glass of wine together on my ship. I don't know what came over her. I only hope that she found some peace in her discovery. As for me, all I could do was offer her my great friendship. We spent the night talking of old things, of her medical discoveries and my travels on the Z. We might never meet again. I would take out to Z when the cannon was finished, and she was going to leave Station 3. I don't know where she will go, but it is my hope that she will find peace somewhere, now that her sister is at rest. I said goodbye to my old friend, and took out to sea again. I gained some sphinx stone from the salt lions and carried them to London. Rather than the usual ones, a smiling woman with a golden glow about her was waiting for me. I could tell that she had been touched by the dawn machine, as I had almost been. She offered that I bring it to the Grand Geode for a great reward. A man tried to dissuade me, but I care little for the politics of London or the bazaar. I had given my word already, and I planned not to break it. I delivered the zoop to the merchant and took my echoes. Before I met with Noctis and my dear Marina, we played together and had dinner before my time was to leave. On my way out of London, my doctor, the brisk campaigner, collapsed. Finally she revealed to me the nature of her sickness. Her soul was flaming. It was going to burn out soon. I could have told her to leave for fear of infection of the others, but she told me it was not, and I believed her. In the end, I have to help her. If I won't, then who will? Either way, I headed down to the Grand Geode and delivered my Sphinx Stone. I felt the sun's burning love and its dangerous touch as the woman blessed me, kissing my eyelids. Perhaps I truly was the sun's son. Perhaps my father was right. I had no need for two great cannons. The mechanic that I was with actually managed to work a deal out between the great people of the Grand Geode and my crew. I gave them the cannon that we had built in exchange for a piece of the Dawn Machine, which we could use later to create the ultimate engine, an engine which was powered by the very force of the sun. We agreed. I collected some sapphires in Port Carnelian for the mechanic's design before heading up to the Fathom King's hold. The first time I saw him, it was terrible. He was a grim, drowned corpse, caked with coral and sea life. But I was not there to meet with him. My chef was, my poissonnier. He fed the king and his drowned souls, the drownies, a great feast. I took part as well, and it was an unusual sensation of flavors, equally disgusting, delicious, and horrifying. The drownies said it was akin to drowning in culinary form. The Fathom King said it was. I do not know what to think, only that I have experienced what few have, and lived to speak of it. Following this, the Fathom King granted me just a small boon of supplies to continue my journey, along with the compliments of my chef. I gathered more supplies to help treat my campaigner, and picked up some supplies for the one-eyed man with the very sharp knife. Finally, we headed to Wisdom. I had no desire to return to the prison, but I needed the sage who resided there, on my mechanic's urging. We tried to break in, and that failed, so I had to buy his way out. I hope it's worth it. I headed up to Irem, where I dreamt of the glory of the Chelinet, the great Z-beast which they made their home upon. It was a rather sad tale, honestly, for the great creature of the Chelinet, the glory, it had hatched from an egg, grown, and it had feasted on the beasts of the Z, growing to prodigious size before finally dying of old age in the Gant Pole, where all great Z-beasts dwell. The Chelinet merely claimed its corpse as their home, and bragged that they, too, had killed it. All this I learned from an egg of the glory in the afterlife. When I finally returned to Chelinet to speak of the truth to the man who'd hired me to find it, he was heartbroken. They were nothing more than corpse robbers and fleas. He decided he wanted to join me and head out for London, for he had no one in the Chelinet he could tell. I loaded up with Stygian ivory, the great bones of the Z-beasts, the last piece of the puzzle for my engine. Now I was heading out to the end of the world, and gods, salt, stone, storm. I would need all of their protection if I was ever to return home.